am Gabriela, a lover, user and promoter of the Caya Diaphragm, a hormone-free contraceptive method that changed my life. I used to take the pill for more than 10 years, and apart from the side effects, I felt really disconnected from my emotion, my intuition and my body. I was feeling very afraid of getting pregnant, but at the same time I felt the need of taking charge of my fertility. So I did my research and I found out about the Caya Diaphragm, a method that I want to share with you, because it is possible to access to a safe, easy to use, hormone-free contraceptive method. Stopping your natural ovulation process is not necessary anymore. So let's get started.
The Caya Diaphragm is a contraceptive barrier device inserted into the vagina before sex to reduce the risk of unwanted pregnancy. It covers the cervix to prevent sperm from entering the uterus. It must be worn during sex and at least 6 hours after sex. It is recommended to be used in combination with Caya Diaphragm gel or any other contraceptive gel. The gel inside the diaphragm is like a second physical barrier in front of the cervix. The gel has a pH value of 3.8, supporting vaginal health. When used correctly, it is highly effective. Caya does not offer protection against sexually transmitted infection such as HIV. You should use condom along with Caya to help protect yourself from these diseases. The diaphragm is reusable and it lasts for 2 years. The Caya Diaphragm looks like this. It has a silicone membrane that covers the cervix to prevent the sperm from reaching the uterus, grip dimples to facilitate vaginal insertion, flexible rim to ensure correct position, removable dome for removal out of the vagina. Plus, it is shaped to fit female anatomy. This shape and size were determined scientifically and fit most women. Before using Caya for the first time, find the cervix. It feels like the tip of your nose. Also, find your pubic bone in the vagina. Insert the Caya Diaphragm immediately before sexual intercourse. Remove the Caya Diaphragm from the case. Before use it, the Caya Diaphragm should be washed with mild soap and water, rinsed and then dried with a soft, clean cloth. Apply the recommended gel onto the middle of the membrane. Also apply some gel around the edges. It will make the diaphragm easier to insert. Fold together using the grip dimples. Find a comfortable position, lying down, kneeling down, or with one leg elevated. Hold the Caya Diaphragm with one hand. Place the thumb and index finger on the grip dimples along the rim. The arrow has to point towards your body. Using your free hand, spread the labia. Push Caya deeply along the posterior vagina wall, towards your back until the cervix rests inside the cup. Use a finger to verify that the cervix is covered by the membrane of the Caya Diaphragm. The cervix must be completely covered. You should be able to feel it through the membrane. If you cannot feel the cervix or the Caya, remove the diaphragm and try inserting it again. Caya is correctly positioned when the cervix is completely covered by the diaphragm and is between the posterior vagina walls and the recess of the pubic bone. If you have verified both of the above and the Caya Diaphragm it is in the correct position, safe contraception is ensured. You are now ready for intercourse. After intercourse, the Caya Diaphragm must remain in the vagina for at least 6 hours. The Caya Diaphragm should never be left in the vagina for longer than 24 hours without interruption, as wearing it for longer and uninterrupted periods of time can promote bacterial growth inside the vagina. This bacteria can lead to a shock syndrome. To remove the diaphragm, insert one finger into the vagina and pull out the Caya Diaphragm using the removal dome. After use, the diaphragm should be carefully washed in a mild soap and water, rinsed and then dried with a soft, clean cloth. The diaphragm should not be heated in order to dry it. Synthetic detergents or organic solvents should not be used. Each time the Caya Diaphragm is used and washed, it should be examined carefully to ensure that there are no holes or thin spots. If any indication of holes are observed, the diaphragm should be replaced immediately. Therefore, please note the date of the first use in the case of the Caya Diaphragm. Silicone oil-based lubricants have deleterious effect on products made of silicone rubber. Please use the recommended gel or, if needed, a water-based lubricant. Check your Caya diaphragm before you use it every time to make sure it is still okay.
I know, I just gave a lot of technical information, so let's get into details and frequent questions. When I started using the diaphragm, I learned two things. The first one, to be prepared and plan ahead, since the Caya diaphragm can be inserted 2 hours before sex. The second one, I learned to be open about sex and about the Caya diaphragm with my partner, since he even got interested in learning how to put it correctly and examining my cervix to see it was covering correctly. Now, you might be wondering, is my partner going to feel the Caya diaphragm? It depends on each anatomy. In my case, this was not an issue. Why does the Caya need to remain 6 hours after sex? Sperm cells are no longer active after this period. The 6 hours are for your own safety and to prevent unwanted pregnancy. Can I have repeated consecutive intercourse with the Caya diaphragm?
Yes, your Caya remains in position, but you can apply extra gel with the aid of an applicator to the area in front of the Caya.
Can the Caya diaphragm also be used during menstruation? Yes. What do I have to observe in case of a vaginal infection? Please visit your doctor in case of any vaginal infection. Use condoms during the treatment and not the Caya diaphragm. After finishing the treatment, you should replace the Caya diaphragm for a new one in case you use them during the infection. Can I use lubricants? Yes, but only water-soluble gels. Do not use any lubricant gels containing silicone. The Caya diaphragm can be used with condoms that are coated with silicone oils. Okay, I hope you learned a lot from this video. For further information, contact MedIntim. You can find all the links below. And you can also answer your questions in the booklet that comes with the box. Don't forget to press the subscribe button and see you in the next video. Bye!